friends, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Dee. Here on my channel, I do pretty much two things. That's my puppy, Lulu. She's gonna be running around in the background, providing emotional support. But I do two things on my video. Mostly, I am a Saint Beauty artist. So if you don't know what Saint Beauty is, I will link a video below to kind of do an introduction, but that is what I'm wearing on my face right now. And I also am a DIY lash enthusiast, which means I love to do at-home lashes. I used to do lash extensions, and between the cost and the time and everything else that went into it, I was looking for an alternative and ended up finding the DIY lashes. So today's video, I've done a whole slew of them, so I'll link a couple of them below. I've tried out a variety of different brands, but today's video is really going to be an in-depth how-to for beginners. I've been using, I want to say a year, maybe even a year and a half that I've been using DIY lashes. So I feel like I'm not a pro by any means. I'm still kind of tweaking things and trying new things and figuring out what works, but I definitely am not a beginner anymore. So I just kind of want to share with you guys some tips and tricks, some of the stuff that I use, what I would recommend when you're starting out, how to start out, all that stuff. So hopefully this video isn't too long, but I really just wanted to create this in-depth how-to because I've done this in some of my other videos, but it's more about some of the lashes with tips and tricks thrown in there. And I figured today is just solely going to be on tips and tricks. So the first thing is, if you're starting out or if you have never tried DIY lashes, one thing that I absolutely love about them and why I gravitated towards them was I never was good at falsies. I could never do the strip lashes. They were always too long and I had to cut them, and then sometimes I'd cut them too short and they would look wonky. And what I realized was, at that time, my eyes were, even though they look similar, they are two different shapes. One goes up a little bit more than the other. And so when I would do false lashes, it would always give me, like, it looked like I had two different lash sets on. So I love the DIY lashes because I'm able to kind of customize each eye so that they look more symmetrical and not look like I'm wearing two different lashes. But I also struggled with the glue, figuring out how much glue to put on. And then I always was super worried about getting the glue into my eyes because it was like a blob of gook on the lashes, and just had a really hard time. So if you struggle with falsies, I would definitely recommend that you try this method because in my opinion, it's a heck of a lot easier. It is a little scary when you go in as you are putting it under your lashes. I was freaked out the first time I did it because I was like, I know I'm gonna end up plopping the glue right on my eyeball. But you just kind of go slow and steady. So I have some tips to kind of go along the way, and then also some of the products. So the first thing is, if you have never tried DIY lashes and you're just now getting into it, I would recommend that you pick up the Falscara Special Edition that is sold at Target. It retails for $24.99. I just checked it this morning. I think Walmart and Ulta have the original Falscara one, but I like the special edition because it has everything that you need in the kit. It's got the glue, it's got the glass bond kind of thing, it's got the wand, it's got, I think, 2 different size lashes. I'll put a picture like right here so you can see what it looks like. It also has some pre-cleanse, and then it has some removers. So it's literally a kit all in one for $24.99. You cannot beat that price. And to me, it's easy because, hey, if you don't like it, you can technically return it to Target. But it's just something that you can pick up at a local store. You don't have to purchase. If you're like me, where you're like, I don't know if this company is reputable or not, or I don't want to give my credit card, maybe you feel a little bit more comfortable with Target. But aside from that, the kit itself is awesome, and I think is a perfect starter kit for anybody who's like not sure if this DIY lashes is for you. I think I have the wand somewhere. I still have some of my stuff, but that's kind of where I started, and I would highly recommend that. So that way you kind of get into it. You can kind of see what it's like, if it's something for you. But the biggest tip that I can give you is you're not going to be a pro starting out. It's going to be clunky. They're going to be a little wonky. It's okay. You're gonna notice it. Nobody else is. And the great thing is you can always take them off and put them back on. You can fix them while you're going through. And the glue doesn't dry so quickly that you can't tweak them if you end up getting them a little wonky. So the biggest thing is just use that as a practice kit, kind of get into the groove. And once you've done it enough, repetition is great. Using it, the more you do it, the easier it will come. I promise you that. When I first did it, I was like, I'm never going to be good at this. And you just keep doing it, and just know that you can always fix it if you mess up. So definitely recommend that you start there. If you're like, no, I'm ready to dive into this whole lash world, or maybe you have the Falscara kit and you're like, I'm ready to expand into other things. Here are some of the things that I have in my collection. It's not necessarily a favorites. I'll talk to you about what I think you absolutely need if you're kind of piecing things together, or if you don't want to do the Falscara kit and you want to branch out, some of the stuff that I use. So the first thing that you absolutely have to do is cleanse your eyes. Cleanse your eyelashes. Now, I use the Lashify Pre-Cleanse. After I started with Falscara, Lashify was the first DIY lash company that I found. And so I purchased their control kit, I purchased their wand, I purchased their gossamers is what they call the lash sets. I purchased everything and I used them and it was fine because I didn't know anything else. Well, as I've kind of branched out into other brands, I've noticed that I prefer other brands' products a little bit more. But as far as the pre-cleanse, I think it works just fine. I'll be honest with you, I haven't tried any other ones, so I can't say if this one is good, bad, anything. I've had it for a while, it's lasted, and it is what it is. So, but regardless of what you pick up, definitely have to do a pre-cleanse. I just wanna show you, I did my makeup and everything. This is, I don't have any pre-cleanse on it, but that's the stuff that is in my eyes, my eyes, right there in my lash line. If you don't pre-cleanse, that right there is going to dissolve your bond and your glue, and you're not gonna get the longevity that you need or that you want from the lashes. So you really need to go in and pre-cleanse, and it's going to help with the longevity. So all I do is I go in here, stick it, and go like that. Now, you saw with the dry one, I was going like this. I don't do that because I don't actually want this in my eye. It doesn't necessarily burn, but it doesn't feel good either. So I just kind of bring up my eyes right here. I'm just gonna gently go in. And I'm focusing on the lashes, but I'm also focusing on like the base of the lashes as well. Just making sure that there's no, you can see right there, that's all the stuff that's in my lashes. So that is the first tip, is making sure that your lashes are really clean before you go in with the glue. I mean, that's that. Okay, the next thing, and this is not a must-have, but as you kind of go into the lash world, I do find that it's nice to have, and this is the Lashify Blow Tool. This is the only company that I'm aware of that has a tool like this. I don't think they call it a blow tool. I think they call it a blow or something. I don't know exactly. I'll link everything below that I'm using, but it is not a must-have. I just like it because it does help with the dry time, especially after you're all done with your lashes and you want to bond them or fuse them together. That's that, but definitely not a need to have. So the lashes that I'm gonna go into, or let's talk about the bond, or the one first. So the one that I'm gonna use today is the Lilac Street. I prefer this wand over anything else. The Falscara, the Lashify, some of the other brands, they have wands that have a little bit more of an exaggerated curve. For whatever reason, even though it works and I can do the lashes, I find with exaggerated curve, when I'm going in and I'm fusing my lashes, for whatever reason, I always pinch my eyelids. I don't know if it's only me, but it drives me absolutely insane. For this, the Lilac Street, because it doesn't have that exaggerated curve, I don't pinch my eyelashes or my eyelids. So this, to me, it's got a perfect kind of balance to it where it's a little bit heavy on this. It doesn't feel cheap. I'm able to go in. It's got a, you know, kind of a pointy, which looks a little scary, but it's not, because it enables you to first pick up the lashes really, really easily without tweaking them. But it also allows you to kind of go in as you're, you know, if you need to move them around or pick them up, it's just a lot easier. So I prefer this Lash wand over any of the wands that I've seen. Even the other brands, like the off brands that I've done, they have the more exaggerated curve. That just seems to be the norm in the industry right now. But Lilac Street is the only one that I found that has the less exaggerated curve, and I prefer it. The other tip that I have is when you get your kit, regardless of what wand you have or wand you get, play with it. Go in, take the lashes off of the thing, move them around, get used to using the tool, mimic like you're going to go in and put them on your lashes, go into the other side and figure out how you're gonna do on the other side. When I first started and I did my first video, it was a hot mess express because I hadn't played with the wand. And so I'm like trying to learn how to do the wand and then put them on my eyelids, and it was just crazy. It was an anxiety-filled video. Every time I look back and watch it, I'm like, oh my gosh, it was just crazy. Spend the time to play with your wand, get comfortable with it. You don't have to sit there and take it everywhere or anything like that, but just play with it a little bit before you put the glue on, so you know exactly, okay, I'm gonna go this way, this feels comfortable. Okay, when I switch over on this side, this is the way I'm gonna do it. So you feel a little bit more comfortable with the wand and you're not just figuring out when the glue's going on. The other thing is, don't freak out about the glue. When I first did it, I kept thinking that the glue is going to dry quicker than it actually is. Even if you get, like today, I'm doing the Lilac Street Pro Glue. This one dries quickly, but it still has that tackiness. It gets tacky sticky, but it doesn't dry down really, really quickly. So you don't have to, if you're going in and you're like, okay, I'm waiting and I'm kind of figuring out my wand and I'm doing all this stuff or whatever. The one thing that I kept thinking about was, oh my gosh, it's gonna dry before I end up getting it, getting figured out. It's not. So take your time with the glue. It is not going to dry before you get it all figured out. Don't pressure yourself in thinking that you have to slap them on really quickly. Figure out the right placement, put them on, and it's gonna be fine. So that's the other tip I had. Yeah, she's entertainment in the back. But that's that. So the wands that we're gonna be using today are the Lilac Street Originals, the wands. The lashes that we're gonna use today are the Lilac Street Originals. I get mine in the 10 millimeters. I'm now starting to think that I want to do more of 12 because I feel like I'm a little bit more, I don't know, dramatic. But these are super, super basic. So if you're looking for a lash that is affordable, that it has high quality, but is not boom in your face, I would recommend you try the Originals by the Lilac Street. Maybe start off with a 10 millimeters, maybe get a 10 and a 12, depending on if you want more of a cat eye look. Me personally, I feel like when I put the way that my eyes kind of droop down, when I do 10s across, it looks the same, and I like that more standard look. That is my preference. But when you start going out, you have to find what lash map works well with your eyes, what you prefer. What I prefer may be completely different. What looks good on my eyes may be completely different from yours. So when you're looking at people with lash maps, you know, when they say, okay, I did a 12 and a 14 and a 12, you know, whatever, use that as inspiration, try it out, but know that you're not going to be able to achieve the same exact look as them. It's not going to look the same because your eyes are different. The shapes are going to be different. So just know that going in and don't get frustrated. It is all about trial and error, and not even trial and error. It's all about preference. It's about trial and figuring out what your preference is. You're gonna try a lash and you're gonna go, yep, I like it. And even I have, these are more my day-to-day, but I have lashes in my collection that are more va-va-voom, because sometimes with, you know, I'm in a mood for a little bit more thicker lash or a little bit more in your face lash, that's okay. But when you're first starting out, I would definitely recommend the Lilac Street. Kind of comparing lash brands, in complete honesty, I do have an affiliate code for Lilac Street. I will link it down below. If you feel like, nope, I don't want to use somebody's affiliate link, then obviously go to their website directly. But I could have an affiliate link with Lashify. I could have an affiliate link with some of the other brands that I've tried. But I always go back to Lilac Street because they are the one brand as far as their lashes go. Now again, I can't speak, stop it. I can't speak to the tools or the glue or any, well, I can speak to the glue, but from the other stuff, I just prefer their lashes. Their lashes, hands down. I've liked some of the other lashes. I just did one for like Denmark, Swan of Denmark or something, and her lashes that are Canadian brands. I thought their lashes were fabulous. But when you break down the quality and the consistency and the affordability, these are the most affordable lashes that I have found that also balance out the quality. They're great quality lashes, but they're also the most affordable, especially if you're in the United States. If you're in Canada or international, it may be a little bit different, but the United States, these are the best that I found. A lot of people will promote the Lashify. I personally don't like them because I feel like they're a little bit plasticky. These, the Lilac Street, feel like mink. They feel very, very soft. They don't poke at me. Their bands are really, really small, and I just prefer that. So when we're looking at quality, comfort, and affordability, Lilac Street to me is a hands down, and it's one that I consistently wear. And I go, like, that's my day-to-day lash. Okay, I'm literally burning up in here. I just took a shower, and so my room is all. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break this up in 2 different parts because I know that this just is a lot. But I wanted to show you guys. So as far as lashes, there are 2 different types of lashes that, lash bands basically. So you have Lilac Street right here. Let me get in this, okay. When you're looking at that band is virtually non-existent. It is very, very thin. It's very, very, it's just little, it's thin, it's barely there. I prefer lashes that are like this. Lashify is like this, Lilac Street is like this. The Her lashes that I did, the Swans of Denmark, those are all like this. I prefer it because to me, these are the most natural feeling and the most comfortable. It's not a big bulky band that's weighing down my eyes. It's easy to stack, all that stuff. The other brands, like this is Blinkify, and then Flutter Habit is the same thing. I don't know if you can see it. You can see, I don't know. There's that white, you can see, oh, there you go. The white band right there, that is almost like fishing line material. And I don't know what else to describe it. This is a hot mess back here. This is what happens when you have a puppy and you have to, she moves everything. But anyways, I don't know how else to describe the band, but it is like fishing line. It is this clear band that goes through. And even though, yes, I can wear these and yes, they're fine, these are not lashes that I can wear for a long time because they are not comfortable for a long time. These are more like day lashes that I would put on, but at the end of the night, they're so heavy and this band is so bulky. You can see here, it's like literally poking out. I have to cut this piece of it, otherwise it will poke into my eyes. Flutter Habit is the same way. I see them all over, and me personally, I just don't find that these lashes are comfortable. I prefer lashes. Let me see if I can grab them. So you can't see. So you can see the difference right there. This one has that band. This one has absolutely no band. And they're a lot thinner. Like if you look at Blinkify and Flutter Habit was the same way. They're just massive. So when you're putting them on, the other thing I don't like about these two is because they have that band, I like to overlap my lashes so there's no gaps. You can't really overlap with these because that band is so thick. It's like overlapping 2 big points. Whereas with these, like the Lilac Street and some of the other stuff, you can overlap them and it's not a super thick thing. So hopefully that makes sense. That's the other tip I would give as far as comfort, stackability, all that stuff. Definitely go with one that doesn't have that fishing line because it's going to be a heck of a lot more comfortable for you. The other thing as far as tools that are good, I recommend getting a silicone mat. You can get this, I think I got this off of Amazon. I'll link it down below. It's nasty, it's disgusting. It collects all the dirt and grime. I need to wash it off with maybe some alcohol or something, or just wash it. But it sits in my drawer. It's not like it sits out or anything like that, but it just collects everything. This is great because you can put the lashes on it and kind of map it out, and then they don't fall anywhere. The lashes are very, very light. So, you know, say you set something down, you go to take some coffee or whatever, drink some coffee, set it down, drink some water, and that wind can blow your lashes away. It blows your lash map away, or, you know, they're black. So if you have a black vanity like me, you're trying to look like almost like a contact lens. This makes that where they don't blow away. You can see here, it works. So whatever little silicone mat, I think that's very, it makes it a lot easier. So what I do is I go in, anytime I'm going to prep my lashes, I go in and I take the lashes off. This is another thing I love about the Lilac Street is some of the other brands, when you take the lashes off, there's a little bit of glue stuck over because there's glue that holds it into the lashes. I absolutely hate that. It is so time consuming to have to sit there and strip off that glue part. And one thing that I could say about the Lilac Street that I absolutely love is their lashes do not do that. The glue band is more like a strip. And so there's not like individual glue gook left on it. You just rip it off the strip and you're good to go. So basically, when I'm starting out, I will go and I'll just map it. Oh, this one fell down. I'll map it like that. So obviously they're a little bit wonky. I'm fine with that, but if you're like first starting out, I would recommend that you have them all straight so that you can just pick them up with a wand and go. That's that. So let's talk about glue. So I'm actually doing some videos of some wear tests. I just did one about the Lilac Street Pro Glue versus the Falscara, so I'll leave that down below. But I don't really want to talk about the preference of glue or which one's the best, but talk about the type of glue because there's two different types. The first type is my preferred method and it's the micro wand. So this is kind of like a mascara wand. To me, I prefer this over some of the other ones like Flutter Habit has almost like that falsie where you have to individually put like glue on each individual lash. I don't like that because first off, it reminds me of the falsies. I don't like it because I don't know how much glue to actually use. It usually takes a lot longer to dry and you have to do it individually. To me, this method, I like it because it's a natural movement for me because I'm used to putting mascara, so I feel like I have a lot more control. It's easier, you don't use as much glue, so you don't have that like dollop of glue. I always get anxiety where I'm bringing up that dollop of glue on my lashes and I always feel like what happens if it presses in and it pops out and it goes in my eyes? If you're like me, do this method. But to me, it's just time consuming. This is boom, boom, boom. I wait a couple seconds, I'm ready to go. I don't have to sit there and individually put glue on individual lashes. Now, there are some people that maybe if you have a little bit more oily skin, if you're not pre-cleansing as good, you might have a little bit of, if you just use this, you might notice that the longevity is not there. Then you might have to use this and put a couple dollops on the lashes. I personally don't have to do that because I pre-cleanse my lashes really, really well and I don't have oily skin. But if you do have oily or you're not getting that longevity, I'd recommend you use a micro wand like this. And then a lot of them have, you can take and just kind of put a little bit extra on the lashes, divvy it on the lashes, and you get that micro wand glue plus a little bit extra to hold that bond, if that makes sense. But hands down, go with the micro wand. It is a heck of a lot easier. It's a lot more user-friendly and it's a lot quicker than individually dolloping the glue on there. The other thing is what you want to make sure that you have in your collection is some kind of bond. And this is again why I love the Falscara Special Edition because it has the glue on one side and the bond on the other. This just helps it get rid of the stickiness and then it also helps it with the longevity and just kind of seal that glue up. The one that I'm using is Lashify. I actually like this one. And again, I haven't tried any other, so I can't say which one is the best one. So I like this one more than a Falscara because of this. This is the Falscara, this is the Lashify. Now when you're doing the bond through your lashes, you don't really want to drag them through like this. It's soft, but it's still kind of a brush kind of mechanism. To me, I like to dollop like this. I'll drag a little bit, but this is like a little spongy, I don't even know what it's called. It's like a little piece of felt that has the bond on it. I prefer to dop like this and gently go like that. To me, if you're brushing it through, these are not like lash extensions. So with your lash extensions, you can take the brush and you can go like this. These are actually lashes stuck to your lash extension, it's not, or your natural lashes, it's not individual. So if you're brushing them out, you're gonna end up breaking the bond or ripping them out, and you don't wanna do that. So that's why I prefer the Lashify over this one, because I prefer to dollop it like this and gently kind of stroke it up, but it's not brushing it through, it's just dolloping. It still does have the brush thing, I don't know why, but that's just my personal preference. So if you're gonna use this, because this is the Falscara one, like I said, this one has the micro wand. This is the Falscara is a great place to start. Just be mindful when you're doing the seal to not really brush it through, just kind of press it through. And that's where the blow tool really comes in handy, because it helps with the dry time. So because this video is so super long, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off and do part 2 of actually applying it. But those are basically the tools of where to start out. Hopefully that kind of helped. I'm hoping that I didn't forget anything, but if I did, I'll try to think about it in the next video. But definitely hopefully that at least gets you started, and then I'll put the part 2 down below. So if you wanna see me actually applying the lashes, we can go through that. So hopefully this helped. Please let me know if you have any questions. If you have any, just need clarification on anything, I definitely wanna help you, because I know it's scary going into the DIY world. And as a beginner, you're not sure of different things. So feel free to leave the questions below and I'll help you out whatever way I can. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Until next time, bye.